Are there any new artists that you're excited about, inside or outside the genre? Something that you just got a hold of in the last year or so, and we're like, dude, you got to hear this.
Art of Dying.
Art of Dying. There's guys from Canada, a local band from Vancouver. We took them out for 3 weeks in the spring. They were really great rock band, and as well as Five Finger Death Punch being out with us that same tour. Cool guys, aggressive and like the band a lot. I like the guys from 10 Years a lot too. I just picked up their newest album, and Jesse's a great singer, and the guys are very cool Southern boys and fun to be around, and I think a big talent. I like to see them have a career and continue doing what they're doing.
Is it weird now that instead of being a geographically restricted kind of musical influence band, that now you're so worldwide? You're like, yeah, we know these guys in Finland, and we know these guys in the South and Canada, etc. Is it different for you? I mean, do you notice that you guys do kind of the same things, or do you find that you're getting all these outside cultural and musical influences that it kind of changes you as a band?
When we tour with certain bands, especially on a long tour like the summer tour, we probably pick up a little bit of inspiration off that because they're different than what we are. So you kind of pick certain things that we may stick with us a bit. But overall, I think we just kind of do our thing. When we get in the room and it's time to write new material, we trust ourselves. We don't think of expectations of what anybody else wants. If we stay true to ourselves, we do it like we did when we were a garage band back in Chicago, of just making music for ourselves and not thinking about what other people would expect out of us. And I think that's a big part of us just being true to ourselves. It's a big part of our sound. We're going to continue to try different things and trust our instincts. And
any specific elements that you can attribute to something like, oh, when we were out with these guys, I really dug that, or oh, I was thinking of this? Kind of direct correlation.
Back in the earlier days, before we actually got a record deal, one of the bands we actually used to look up to a lot, just because we loved their live show, their energy was amazing, was ironically Machine Head, who's now headlining one of the second stages today. It's those guys are amazing, and it's cool to be able to be at a level where we can share the bill with someone like that. It's someone we've always looked up to, and their energy was like they set the bar. It's like, okay, this is what we need to get to, and
yeah, I don't think there's anything specifically off of bands that we take from musically as much as we do visually on certain headlining acts of what does it take to be that kind of headliner. When like I said, when we've seen bands like and done shows with Kiss and Metallica and Judas Priest and
Rage Against the Machine.
We did a show with them in Austria, and we see, at the level that those bands are at and what we can do to improve our live show. We take a little bit of things from that, whether it's certain visual aspects, whether it's lighting and just dynamics that's going to make it seem larger than life. And we want to give our fans something more than just the music. We want to give them every penny's worth that they pay on that ticket and give them something that's going to be exciting to see visually as well.
So if you guys are fans of Metallica and Machine Head, and I'm guessing kind of the Bay Area thrash thing from the 80s in general, how do you feel about all that coming back out with, Exodus and Testament and Death Angel?
Testament, forget about it. Oh, one of my personal favorites. Yeah, I was a huge Testament fan back in the day, and still am. And we're going back to Europe. We just got back from. We got to play a couple shows, a couple festivals over there with Testament as well as, and the Metal Hammer Awards as well. And it was very cool to actually meet these guys. Alex Skolnick's back in the band. It's very cool.
Do you think it's crazy how all the veteran Bay Area thrash bands are out there now with new albums that are, I think, are phenomenal, but I'm biased. And there's also a whole school of kids out there with like the same influenced music, like all these kids coming out with, with this influenced music while the influenced music is still there, like you guys playing with Kiss.
I think it kind of shows how some of metal, especially some of those bands, more the classic thrash metal bands are somewhat timeless. You know, they sort of span generations, and now you got, like you're saying, a whole new generation of younger kids that are getting into the music, which is really cool.
Warbringer and Bonded by Blood, and I mean all these like really directly influenced bands, and it's just
Sure.
But that's me talking. You guys are tired, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Gets good.
Yeah.
If you want to tell people, the Disturbed
Get the
message
new
you wanna
album.
get out there.
Got a new album, more material. Come out and see the show. We're on fire right now. You know, we're just loving being back on stage again. It's been you know, once we're in the studio, it's great to have new songs kind of come to life and have the finished product. But the real excitement for us is being back up on stage and playing. So come out and see the show, learn the new material, and you know, enjoy it.
Cool. Thank you.
107.7 The Bone.
Streaming online at 1077thebone.com.